Hello and welcome everyone again into another video. In today's video we have some battles from PudzianPLgurom, and they are rocking a team with Shadow, Gligar, Venusaur, and Skeletor. Basically Skeletor, I asked in my Discord, if you guys aren't in the Discord, make sure to join. What sometimes I ask for some specific Pokemons to be used, so to be featured on the YouTube channel, and I asked if someone uses Skeletor. I don't have one built, so I'm interested to see, because this Pokemon has some use in the competitive format, like in Pokemon Go regionals, where like the last regional winner, Doombug, he won Texas regional with a Skeletor, because the Skeletor was like a nice answer to POLIWRATH and the Dragonite safe swaps, because it has the Disarming Voice, which hit the Dark, the Fighters, and the Dragons with super effective damage. But is the Skeletor enough? Like the question here is, are the 3 hard counters to POLIWRATH enough? We have a Ghost that take no damage from counter, we have a Grass that does super effective to the water, and we have a Flyer that does super effective damage. But before we head to the video, I need a favor. We are now sitting on 6995 subscribers, so if we can hit 7,000 just for that. So if you're not sub to the channel, please make sure to, because that helps the channel to grow, so I appreciate that in advance. Now let me fix this. Okay, it's fixed, it fit the screen. Now let's see these battles. These battles are at 2700 mmr, and they aren't in the same order. I think it's 2x speed, so we might slow it down a bit. Opponent safe swap this Skarm, and this Skarm gets an answer by the Skeletor. Skeletor destroys the Skarm, and you can literally farm it all the way down. I think we do like 2 incinerates, and then I would like undercharge here. So okay, that's still KO'd. And that was a top left. That was a nice start, to be honest. By the way, these battles were submitted like a couple days ago, before it's featured. I think it was submitted around Sunday, so technically should be I think page 5 to 7 leaderboard. Gligar just destroys everything about Deoxys defense. It's a decent matchup for the Gligar because he resists counter and 2 Psycho Boosts do not KO. So you can leave this matchup with an actual move. This is where like Shadow Gligar is also better, because you do like some decent fast move pressure. Opponent here brought in the A9, and now this A9 is about to get demolished. And here is where we want to see this team doing some action, which is the POLIWRATH meta. People who are running POLIWRATH, that was a nice play actually. Get a shield, then swap out and no shield, because you can still get the 2 moves. So we saw that a research popped up, which means opponent top left. They were like, you have 7 answers to this Pokemon. Now we are queuing into a Code Breaker. Technically, Jellicent destroyed 2 Pokemons here, so we don't have a play. Our only play is just Call a Bait and Go Straight Aerial Ace. So they are almost at 2. I think they have the second serve. So here we need to shield just to grab another shield. I think they are in dig range, so technically if the opponent is aware, they might shield this because they die to the dig. And we see here going for the extra, because we don't like... Okay, I like this play here. Let me just talk about it. So here he did not throw his energy, which is a good play. Why? He pressured the opponent through their energy. So technically the Jellicent doesn't have any energy, and now we have a Venusaur that will go aggressively on the farm down. Opponent is swapped into Guzzlord, and Guzzlord is about to get a massive hit. Okay, can we shield this? It's a crunch, so technically we can do 2 incinerates and then throw the Disarming Voice. This is 2 times super effective, so it should KO. That Guzzlord disappeared. The Jellicent came back to get punished by a Shadow Ball, and we're about to see a sweep from the Skeletor. Oh my, Skeletor taking an entire team, pressuring the opponent through the next charge move, almost took down the entire team, and they are in frenzy range, so that was a good game. Moving to the next one, we have technically a good matchup for the Gligar. It's a scuffed matchup for both, because Skull does lots of damage, but it's still not enough. Hopefully they don't get the debuff. They get the debuff, so now we are in a bad spot. If they don't get the debuff, you can KO with a Aerial Ace plus Dig, but if they get the debuff, they actually live as an Aerial Ace plus a Dig. So now they need to throw this, and now the Venusaur gets some energy. The opponent brings in an A-Slash, and the A-Slash has no more health. Skeletor again about to take down another team entirely. That A slash in the back doesn't have any health, but here we have a Cresselia that going straight Monoblast, but with shielding because we need this Pokemon to beat the A slash. We farm down the Cresselia. Opponent has no win con. They decided to top left. Now we are playing against the Skeletor ourselves. So how can we beat this Pokemon? Because we've seen this Pokemon is sweeping. And here, our trainer, he's showing us how to beat the Skeletor. Basically, catch the Disarming Voice, go aggressively on the farm down, shield the Shadow Ball, farm a lot, throw the Shadow Ball. Okay, it's gonna be landed. And they decided to call the bait, and that was a huge mistake on their end. We have lots of farm, and the Disarming Voice is about to hit Dragon. Oh my. That was actually, that was like one of the reasons, like sometimes when you don't use Incinerate, use it because you just get stuck in the fast move. Opponent having a Shadow Poliwrath, but the Poliwrath was, like, had no business to do. Okay, I need to pause here because I want to talk about this matchup. This matchup sucks for the non-Shadow Gligar, but for the Shadow Gligar, it's way better. Like, look how Altaria is acting. Look, like the Aerial Ace hit for actually lots of damage to the point where Altaria is doing a backflip just from the shear of, like, the pressure of the hit. Do you guys see it? Now we're just going straight Aerial Ace, and the Sky Attack takes like around, I think, 8.5 seconds. We can do the math. Okay, it's 50 energy divided by 3. We're talking about 30 plus 20. 20 is 20 divided by 3 equal almost 7. So it's 6.5 plus 10. So that's make it 16.5 divided by 2. That makes it around, we're talking about 8 seconds, 8 seconds and a half. So it takes a lot, which means you can get to 2 Aerial Aces before they get to 2. You can get 3 Aerial Aces by the time they get two Sky Attacks because of, like, the way fast move sneaks work. And here we're going Skeletor going for the aggressive farm down. Are we gonna get it? We actually getting it. Opponent aggressively swapped into a Swampert. This Swampert might have an EQ, and we need to shield that in Great League. But Venusaur shielding the EQ, going for the full farm down. Opponent is expected to bring in the Altaria. They did not bring in Altaria. So the play here, just go straight to Frenzies, but be aware of the catch. I'm assuming since the opponent did not throw, that means they don't have a Future Sight. They have lots of energy, but that energy... Okay, they do have Future Sight, so this is not gonna be any risk because we're about to Shadow Ball them. Skeletor is sweeping the 3rd game in a row. And Pudzin, it's a tough name to pronounce, not gonna lie. Opponent using Noctowl, still living in season 14, even though it's season 17 where Noctowl is bad. What Gligar is the king of the flying Pokemons. Opponent over farming. I would shield, to be honest, because I can just always outpace. But Pudzin here has a play where he's just gonna farm all the way down and leave them with 1 HP and get an Incinerate. And trust me, 1 Incinerate is lots of energy lead. Opponent is running double steal and now has no hope to win this game. I'm assuming there is an A slash in the back, so we're just gonna do 1 Incinerate and throw in good timing, throw this Shadow Ball, which technically does KO. Opponent has a hope to call a bait, and Pudzin is swapping into a Venusaur to bait out whatever they have in the back, and it's a Medi that get demolished by a Skeletor. Skeletor is sweeping these Pokemons one by one, and opponent here running. Okay, we're just going to call the Ice Punch bait. Ice Punch does not KO, Psychic does. We're gonna overfarm a bit, and now throwing this Frenzy. This Frenzy is supposed to KO easily, and if we get to another move, that will be a GG. Or if we get to the opponent to throw, that's also another GG. So now what we need to do is this: we shield, we do 2 Incinerates, and we win the game. That was a very well played. Okay, now moving to the next game, we have a Poliwrath and we have Gligar into Poliwrath. They swap into Leaky. So what's the play here? You basically stay in, throw an Aerial Ace, put them in Frenzy, then you can swap, but you can also stay in. There is nothing wrong with staying in. So tanking a move, then swapping, and now they are in Frenzy range. So we're just gonna go aggressive on the overfarm and then CMP them on the next Body Slam, I guess. This Frenzy can barely knocks out. So now this is what we called a farm down range. This is gonna be close because, oh my, that was a tough one. But hey, we have a loaded Gligar on energy, and technically they are almost in Aerial Ace range. Aerial Ace does not KO there, but now it should KO because they took lots of wing attack damage. I am assuming we're just gonna throw this and then going to Skeldridge, and the Aerial Ace does not get shielded. Okay, now we're just gonna spam getting out of this Skeldridge. Skeldridge so far swept so many games, and opponent having Cresselia in the back, and they decided to top left. That's actually so satisfying when we see like a Pokemon like Skeldridge just sweeping those meta Pokemon, stuff like Medi, stuff like the Steels, stuff like the Cresselias. Whenever they see the Crocodile, they just have no play. And now we have a Gligar Mir. Gligar Mir is always defined by the one who wins CMP, but that doesn't mean anything because you can always try to catch and get an Incinerate lead. So we're just gonna no shield here because they did not shield. We see a Venusaur swap in. Venusaur destroys everything about Azu. It's actually a better matchup than having a trap on Azu. So the Ice Beam is gonna hit for super effective, but it's not super effective enough. Usually Venusaur built to the two frenzies, you throw them and then you farm all the way down, and now we have a frenzy that should knock out the Gligar. We are in a very, very good situation now. So even if they have a Pokemon like Poliwrath has no play. And here Podzian is actually doing great just by hard countering these Poliwrath teams. But to be fair, he's playing decently well. So yeah, thank you so much for these battles. I believe that was one set. So yeah, thank you so much, PudzianPLgurom. Appreciate sending me these nice battles. And thank you so much everyone for watching. This is the end of the video. Hopefully you guys learned to use, sometimes all you need to do just run hot counter teams. Again, as long as you play like Podzian. I mean, calling these space was actually insane. Setting up the alligator, what's his name, Skeldridge, where like most of the games he was trying to get an Incinerate lead. An Incinerate lead can flip lots of games coming from a bad matchup, and you like stuff like leading into Poliwrath. If you have the Incinerate, you just destroy that Pokemon because there is no way they will outpace, and the Disarming Voice will do enough damage to KO them. So yeah, thank you so much everyone for watching. This is the end of the video. Hope you guys liked it. If you liked it, make sure to leave a like, the channel, subscribe, and if you want to get your battles featured on this channel, there is a link down below. So see you in the next video. Peace.